I'm just I'm going to just try and set that button back again. Maybe toggling it will work. What about now?
Yeah, can still hear you.
Okay, so it's like I had to toggle the automatically detect voice. Otherwise it didn't. I don't know. Whatever.
Aha.
It's working now.
Awesome.
Hands free.
All right. Okay, so we are live. So I'm here with Amesh, and he is. How would you describe your role on the SkyHaven project?
I wear many hats. Currently, I am producer and technical lead, but I started out just as the technical lead.
Okay, cool. And you probably cannot see my screen here without me messing everything up. But
Well, should I just log into the view of it and
yeah, you can just jump onto
okay,
Kick and mute it,
okay.
and just so that Amesh can see everything that we're seeing here. And I should probably pull it up
Great, I see
here.
myself.
Whoa, that's right in the way of my face. Whoop, there we go. Okay. Okay, just need to minimize my screen there. Okay, good. So, um, okay, good. So I'm gonna just kind of play while we chat. So,
Sounds good.
so when you first started making Skyhaven, I say we, but I wasn't here at that point. It was kind of a different kind of game. What was the original plan for Skyhaven?
Yeah, it's been a long journey. We've had many different iterations of this game. So I think like the inception of it started with like an AR technical demo, and this like showed us that we could render content in the sky. Like it could be, I don't know, spaceships or aliens or whatever. We landed on these kind of really neat creatures. And the product wasn't really a mobile game or anything like that at the time. Like the idea for HoloLabs was to create a suite of educational apps, and there was a sort of resource management game in the works there to show how like creatures in the sky, and we could farm and create food and learn about the supply chain and real-time weather effects and that sort of thing to sort of nurture and understand ecology better about the world that we're in through looking after these creatures in the sky. um, and that was a fun concept. I think like that it had a lot of legs. uh, it's just a
A
tough
lot of
market.
fins, as it were.
A lot of fins, yes. um, I think it was very challenging to enter the education space. So we kind of pivoted, and through looking at different core mechanics and stuff, aside from making it a farming simulation game, that would have been potentially really cool. We kind of fell in love with the Merge game and like what Love and Pies and Merge Mansion had accomplished in telling a really rich story. So story was like at the forefront of Skyhaven from the beginning as well. We had a really juicy backstory written by uh, Joseph, our lead designer at the time, and so he created this backstory. We all read it, and immediately we were like, "This should be a Netflix series. This is amazing."
I remember reading it when I first came on. It was funny. It was like really in depth for an initial game story concept.
Yeah. And I think like all those themes are still present today. The that set tone for the story and how the game evolved. And it's this like mystery, this agency that's very secretive, like the Men in Black or some sort of containment bureau, FBI kind of thing, where they're trying to keep all the creatures secret. But there's like factions within the agency that are out to do no good, and or they're trying to do right by humanity, but they're exploiting the creatures, or they're there's a lot to uncover and mystery to discover. Um, but yeah, going back to like what the product is now, like after we found that merge game mechanic, like the it just made sense. It's a way to tell a story. It's something that mobile games don't really have. Typically, we are able to deliver our content in these bite-sized chat containers that are it's delivered all through text messages from other agency members, and it's engaging. It's a really nice way to consume a story like ours that's kind of traditional in a sense that it's serialized. It's like an episode of X-Files that just continues, or even more akin to like episodes of Lost. You know,
Oh
that,
yeah.
that ever never-ending mystery.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
Awesome. So what would you say? What were some of the early challenges?
Ooh. Um, I think like finding that mechanic, right? Like just tying things into creatures themselves. We have this like these beautiful creatures that can be rendered in the sky, and the tricky part, and we're still like working on it, is making sure that our merged game and story and map and AR are all thematically tied together, and that took a long time. Took a long time to sort of understand.
Yeah. And I'm trying to think like so. Um, what's the thing probably within this that you are most proud of?
That's a good question. I think I'm most proud of the merge game. That it happened pretty fast. We kind of threw it together as a prototype, but that prototype stuck. The code hasn't really changed much since that prototype, and I was like, I'm pretty proud of that.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of work done to it, but at its core, I think like
Yeah, like
that's really
the
cool.
underlying structure has stayed pretty rock solid throughout.
Yeah, it was a square grid at first, and then you came on and you modified it to be a hex grid, which was really cool. And now it is what it is today. We got like lots of polish and cool effects going on it.
It's hexy and I know it. Because I gotta have my puns. All right, so yeah, I think it's yeah. I mean, it's definitely it has definitely changed over time, and like it has gotten better and better. Where do you see it going?
Excellent question. I think it's just going to get more in depth into the story. We have many more creatures to discover. We have seasonal content that will be created, so we'll have a lot more plot twists and turns and new characters and new people to meet. And then on top of that, I think the main core of it is around community. So like you are an agent along with everyone else playing the game, and we want to make sure that we can foster that community and like travel to locations and like collaborate to help save these creatures. So focusing a little bit more on map gameplay and like location-based gameplay is kind of where we aim to go with it. Have a lot of really cool ideas around making it a really like connected experience. Already, like the creatures on the map can be a shared experience. And I don't know if many people know, but if you open the game to any location, you'll be seeing the same creatures in the same positions.
Yeah.
Um,
I remember the playtest day that happened, where like all of us were like, we're in the office, we're all pointing our cameras out the windows to try and like see the creatures, and we were all getting different ones, and someone was just like, we should just be seeing the same thing here.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, it's good. It's so we'll tie that all together. I think like yeah, that community piece is where I think SkyHaven is going to go and it is going to grow.
Great. Who's your favorite character?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know why I have a fondness for Jane. She's one of the first character portraits that we had changed a little bit. There she is on the. There's Jane.
There.
I don't know. I like Jane. Not sure why. I like all of them.
You don't have to explain why you like someone. It's it's funny because I think probably a lot of people it's like it's immediately Penny, but but yeah, it's yeah, I mean, and it's funny because like I don't have a bunch of the characters unlocked yet, so it's fun. It's fun to see them introduced. It's fun to see kind of their differences in chat and their how they all kind of interweave with the story. So yeah,
yeah. There's the other one is a Joker. He's always cracking puns and jokes. Is it Adair? I can't remember. We actually this was a fun fact. We did a once we got a season 1 of content draft done. We all did a table read for the narrative. So we all chose characters to play. I portrayed, I believe, April, and Matthew, our QA, portrayed Penny, and in fact, that he voices Penny now in the intro video because his performance was so good.
It was so funny that like I remember the first time I saw it. So I saw it first without the audio, and then I wasn't, because I'm working remotely. I didn't know who had voiced Penny, and so I was listening to Penny, and I'm like, oh yeah, I definitely know that's him, because there's just sort of like, even though it was modulated, it was just like he has a very distinct way of speaking. It's very like it's perfect for the role, and it was so funny that I was just like, oh yeah, that makes so much sense.
Yeah. I didn't voice any characters. But no, I really enjoyed that table read. Actually, through that table read, I guess like one of my favorite characters is Magnus, but I won't give any spoilers away as to why.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm trying to think what else. We've covered most of the things that I wanted to cover. So
what's your favorite character?
Well, so without saying Penny, I mean it's Penny, but, but I mean like I have seen some of the art for the upcoming ones, and there was one design specifically. Now, of course, I have to try and remember which one it was. They had kind of like dreadlocks and a hat, I think.
Oh, right. I can't remember who that one is.
When I was making the TikTok effect, that was one of the ones that I was kind of using as like like when I was making the agency TikTok effect. That was the one that I was like I want this one. I want to come out looking like this one, but For me, I don't know why on all those TikTok effects, it always turns me into a furry. It's just the beard, I guess. I don't know, but I generally look like either a llama or something weird, and other people get to be humans. I even took a picture with my daughter, and she looked human, and I looked like a bear. Like, so yeah.
What about creatures? Do you have a favorite creature?
Well, I do, and actually, let me go to. I guess I haven't unlocked a whole bunch, but I do love the Zolotls. They're like, we actually used to have an axolotl as a pet, and who I miss very much. That was years ago, but it was, yeah. I mean, and it's just like I remember in the early days of like when it was being animated, and. I think it was it Stephen who took over the animation on those? And
Yeah.
like he figured out like a really good way to get it looking like really serpentine and like really like brought it to life. And I thought that was amazing. And like that's the thing for me is like I love seeing the animations. I love seeing like all of the new little personality traits that have been brought to the creatures that as things that swam across the sky, they had sort of a presence before, and I feel like a lot of the new animations are bringing them a personality as well, and that's really, really wonderful to see.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Those creatures have been just 3D models for so long, and now they're getting rigged and animated, and yeah, they've come to life.
I really like the new wellies. That probably creature wise.
Yes.
That's the one I'm most excited to see fully animated in 3D is the wellies,
Yeah.
because I mean I can show them on the board here. They're these cute little like right, and they've got the kind of the dual ear fin things on either side, and I think it's really, really cool. And I saw a 3D model for them, and it just hasn't like been, well, maybe it's been animated, I just haven't seen the animations yet, so I'm not going to say it hasn't been animated yet, but
It's coming.
it's coming.
We have actually the like wellness and like healing part of the creature interaction is something that we're working on right now, and we're pretty excited about where we're going with it. It's going to be a lot more about making sure that their health is good, rather than it like being a little bit more of a negative connotation. Like we're trying to boost their health, and the
Gotcha.
wellies plays a pivotal role in that. The wellies are a kind of symbiotic creature relationship with the creatures, so they're like what are they? The remora fish, uh, where the
Oh
cleaner fish on sharks.
yeah,
Yeah, so similar idea. Like wellies
or like
take
those
care.
birds that clean crocodile teeth.
Yeah, exactly. So the wellies take care of the big creatures in the sky, and we've kind of, as a Haven agent, being able to research them and understand how to collect them, so that we can send them to these creatures. And so we're going to use the 3D asset in a really cute way. I think it'll be really fun.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing it. Just gonna claim some of my stuff and put it on the board here. I think we're almost at time, but yeah, that's great. Like I think you've
Are
provided a lot of.
your I see the feed here. It's a little bit. Our faces are giant.
Oh yeah, that's because I had to like crop to different zones within it because we just didn't have a lot of like the both of us are using landscape video, so I just wanted to crop them to
Right.
squares because otherwise they would have been even bigger if I'd cropped them to like the space I needed. All right, let's level up. Cool. Yeah, I think that's pretty good for today. You've provided a lot of insight into kind of how it's going, how it's been, and yeah, thanks for coming on.
Thank you. Yeah, let's do more of these.
Yeah, for sure. All right. thanks everyone for joining. And I see what happened here. I resized the window, and it resized the whole board. Well, I didn't see that happening, so yeah, let me just see here. If I resize this window, does it resize it in real time on the... Oh, it does. Well, I made it bigger on my other screen so that I could see it, and then everyone else couldn't see it. Okay.
That's okay. We'll get it next
I'll
time.
know that for next time. All right. Thanks everyone for joining us, and yeah, have a great day.